What made you call in a favor you swore you'd never use? My 6-year-old daughter Pia came back from her dad's house with chunks of hair missing. I found her in the bathroom at 3 a.m. with safety scissors, cutting more off. When I grabbed the scissors, she whispered, "Daddy's friends choose one girl for the basement. I have to be the ugly one or they'll take me." She was shaking so hard she threw up. I called him begging for answers. "You're insane," he said calmly. "I'm documenting this call. The judge will love hearing how you're filling Pia's head with sick fantasies." The custody threat. And 2 days later, I got my proof, because that's when Jasmine came over. Jasmine was one of my ex's 7 daughters that he had with 5 different women, all with weekend custody arrangements. And she came over with chunks of hair missing. Her mom mentioned Jasmine kept saying Pia saved me, but wouldn't explain what that meant. That's when I realized this wasn't isolated to my daughter. I called every parent whose daughter visited my ex's house. 4 other girls had cut their hair in the past 2 months. One mom said her daughter kept a notebook tracking whose turn it was for basement time. Another found her 6-year-old practicing making herself ugly with markers on her face at 2 a.m., 4 days until Pia's next visit. My ex's girlfriend sent me a text. "Your daughter is teaching bad habits to the younger ones. Now none of them are suitable. This needs to stop." The word suitable made my skin crawl. I went to CPS with photos of the girls' destroyed hair and statements from 5 mothers. The caseworker said children cut their hair all the time, and without evidence of physical abuse, they couldn't investigate. She actually wrote in her notes that I appeared to be coaching my daughter. 3 days wasted. One mother, Elizabeth, was my last hope. Her daughter Emily used to have the prettiest hair of all the girls, long blonde and past her waist. Emily got picked for the basement 2 months ago and hadn't been the same since. She slept under her bed, wouldn't let anyone bathe her, and drew pictures of stairs going down into darkness. Elizabeth looked broken when she told me Emily still had the hair she cut off saved in a box under her bed labeled before. I had 3 days left and tried the police again. The officer actually smirked. "Little girls playing hairdresser isn't a crime, ma'am. Maybe focus on being a better co-parent?" He slid the photos back without looking. "Besides, your ex already called. Said you might come in with wild stories." That night, Pia stood at the mirror touching the small amount of regrowth. "It's getting pretty again," she said matter-of-factly. "I'll have to go down next time." My phone buzzed. It was my lawyer. I begged him to tell the judge I was sick, in an accident, detained, any lie that would let me keep her home Friday. He stayed silent until I finished crying to say the words that broke me. If I didn't send Pia for her visit, I'd lose custody permanently. I had 24 hours to decide between contempt of court or sending my daughter back to that house. Pia gave me Jasmine's hair ribbon at breakfast. My hair grew back too fast last time. Jasmine had to go instead. The guilt in her 6-year-old voice broke me. 1 hour left and Pia gripped my hand in the car. What if I can't make myself ugly enough this time? When we pulled into his driveway, 2 other cars were already there. Selena climbed out first, 5 years old with blonde curls to her waist. Then Eve, 7 with beautiful dark hair. Pia saw them and started screaming, "Not them! They're too pretty!" I just smiled, because I wasn't just dropping Pia off tonight. I was getting into that basement. I called my cousin Pedro, ex-military police. "Remember what Uncle Larry did to us? He didn't need more. Give me 20 minutes." The other mothers were walking their daughters to the door. Pedro arrived with his brother Jose. They'd done 2 tours in Afghanistan together, knew how to make people talk. My ex came out smiling, ready to gloat about custody, but his face changed when he saw Pedro. "Get inside," Pedro said quietly. The other mothers held their daughters back as we followed him in. His girlfriend tried to run. Jose caught her in the kitchen, zip-tied to a chair in seconds. My ex backed against the wall. "This is kidnapping. You just lost custody forever. Where's the basement?" I cut him off. Pedro already found it. 3 locks, just like the neighbor said. He had them picked in under a minute. My ex went white. "You can't go down there. Please. You don't understand. The pretty ones go down." I was recording everything. 1 girl every weekend. Pia tried to save them by cutting her hair. I moved toward the stairs. Full story on channel, link below.